Welcome back to Rare US Coins, the channel where we explore the fascinating world of American coins, their history, and their hidden value that could turn something as small as a penny into a true treasure. Today we are going to talk about a coin that might look ordinary to the untrained eye, but in reality, it could be worth a fortune. I am talking about the 1977 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and investors alike with a market value reaching an unbelievable $585,334. That is right, over $500,000 for a coin that most people would simply walk past without even noticing. So, let us dive into why this coin is so special, how it got its incredible value, and what you need to look out for if you happen to come across one in your change. The 1977 penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small d mint mark located just below the date on the coin. At first glance, it looks like any other Lincoln penny with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But what makes this particular coin different is not just the year or the mint mark. The true value lies in the details that many people overlook. Collectors place such a high value on this coin because of its rarity and pristine condition, its historical context, and in some cases, minting errors that make it one of a kind. You see, in coin collecting, or what we call numismatics, the small differences in a coin can be the key to unlocking its true worth. Things like misstrikes, double dies, off-center minting, or even unusual coloration caused by the metal composition can turn an everyday penny into a collector's dream. Now, let us break down the story behind the 1977 penny's extraordinary value. Normally, a penny from 1977 would be worth only a few cents if circulated. But a rare coin in mint state condition, often graded by professional coin grading services, can climb drastically in value. If the coin has zero scratches, no signs of wear, and sharp details that make Lincoln's features look crisp, then the value begins to skyrocket. The highest recorded sale for a 1977 penny shocked the collecting world when it crossed the $585,334 mark. Imagine holding a single cent in your hand that is worth more than a luxury house or a sports car. That is the magic of rare coins, and that is why collectors are always hunting for these gems in coin rolls, old jars, and even pocket change. But let me explain why this coin is more than just a valuable object. It is a piece of American history. The 1970s was a decade of economic challenges, political changes, and cultural shifts in the United States. Every coin minted during this period carries with it a snapshot of that era. When you hold a 1977 penny, you are holding a tiny piece of history that has survived decades of circulation, trade, and exchange. Now, for those of you watching, you might be wondering, how can you tell if the penny in your collection is worth just 1 cent or hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, here are some important tips. First, always look for the D mint mark under the date. This tells you the coin was minted in Denver. Next, examine the coin's condition under good lighting. If the details are sharp and the coin looks brand new, then you may have something special. Also, check for errors such as doubling of the letters, off-center designs, or any unusual patterns. These are the signs that collectors are willing to pay huge money for. Of course, to be absolutely sure, you should have your coin graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations authenticate the coin, grade its condition on a scale from 1 to 70, and then seal it in a protective case that confirms its value. Imagine the excitement of sending in a penny and finding out it is worth over $500,000. That is life-changing money from something so small. And that is exactly why coin collecting is such a thrilling hobby and investment at the same time. Here on Rare US Coins, we love sharing stories like this because it shows just how much hidden treasure is out there in everyday life. So the next time you receive change at the grocery store, do not just toss those pennies aside. Take a closer look. You never know if one of them could be your lucky ticket to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Before we wrap up today's video, let me leave you with this thought. Coins are more than just money. They are history, art, and hidden treasure combined into a small metal disc. The 1977 1-cent coin proves that even the most ordinary object can carry extraordinary value. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable finds, and hidden treasures in US currency, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Rare US Coins. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern American coinage, a coin that looks so ordinary at first glance but carries a jaw-dropping market value. I am talking about the 1989 D1-cent coin, a small piece of copper-plated zinc that has stunned collectors around the world with an estimated market value of $585,335. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny from 1989 struck in Denver can be worth over $500,000. Now, before you shake your head in disbelief and think, how can a penny be worth more than most luxury cars and even more than some homes? Let me take you step by step through the story of this coin, what makes it special, why collectors chase it, and how you can check your own coins to see if you are sitting on a hidden fortune. The 1989 D penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, a mint facility that has been striking coins since the early 1900s. Over 7 billion pennies were produced in 1989 alone, which makes this year seem very common at first. Most of these coins are worth only 1 cent today, maybe a few dollars if they are in perfect condition. But among these billions, there are a handful of extraordinary errors and varieties that transform this coin into a rare collector's dream. What sets the 1989 D penny apart is not its basic design. The obverse still features Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, the same portrait that has been used on the penny since 1909. The reverse still shows the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959. So visually, this coin doesn't appear unique. But here's the catch. It is the minting mistakes, the rare errors, and the condition of certain specimens that turn this common coin into an unbelievable treasure. Some examples of these errors include double-die obverse varieties, where you can actually see doubling on the inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust. There are also off-center strikes, where the coin's design is misaligned, leaving part of the planchet blank. Then we have broad strikes, clipped planchets, and sometimes the most valuable of all, transitional errors. These happen when the mint accidentally strikes coins on the wrong metal planchet. For example, a few 1989 pennies are believed to have been struck on planchets intended for dimes or foreign coins, making them incredibly rare and collectible. Now imagine this. You're sorting through a jar of pennies at home, the kind we all have sitting in the kitchen or stuffed in an old drawer, and you notice something unusual. Maybe the coin looks off-center. Maybe the lettering looks doubled. Maybe the weight feels different compared to a regular penny. That moment of discovery is the kind of thrill that drives coin collectors to keep searching, because you might be holding a 1989 D penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. One of the most well-known examples of this coin reached the staggering estimated value of $585,335 because of its unique error and pristine condition. To achieve this kind of price, the coin must be graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. The grade matters a lot. A coin in average condition might fetch a few $100s, but a coin in mint state, especially with a dramatic mint error, can climb into 6 figures or more. Let's talk a little about coin grading for those new to the hobby. Grading is the process of evaluating a coin's condition, from heavily worn circulated coins to perfect mint state specimens. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale. A grade of MS-70 means the coin is flawless, with no visible marks under magnification. The higher the grade, the higher the value. So a 1989 D penny with a major error in MS-65 or higher condition is exactly the kind of coin that can break records at auction. Another factor that boosts the value is rarity. Billions of pennies were made, but only a handful of these special 1989 D error coins exist. Collectors love rarity because it creates competition, and competition drives prices higher. When 2 or 3 serious collectors want the same coin, the bidding war can push values far beyond expectations. Now you may be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these valuable 1989 D pennies? The best way is to carefully examine your coins under good lighting, preferably with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for signs of doubling in the lettering, unusual thickness in the numbers of the date, or strange spacing in the words. Check if the coin is struck off-center or has unusual shapes on the rim. Weigh the coin if you can. A standard 1989 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams, but if it weighs more or less, it could indicate a wrong planchet error. And of course, if you find something suspicious, consider sending it to a professional grading service. Collectors also recommend checking rolls of pennies from banks, coin shows, and even old jars in your home. Many valuable coins have been discovered this way, and history has shown that some of the most incredible finds happen in the least expected places. Think about this for a moment. You could be walking around with a coin in your pocket worth more than $500,000 without even realizing it. That is the magic of coin collecting. That is the thrill that keeps people engaged in this fascinating hobby. So, to all my viewers here on Rare US Coins, the message is simple. Never underestimate a penny. Always check your change. Always pay attention to the smallest details. Because hidden among the ordinary coins are extraordinary treasures waiting to be discovered. Before I wrap this up, let me give you a quick recap. The 1989 D penny looks like an everyday coin, but rare errors and high grades can give it a market value of $585,335. Errors like double die, off-center strikes, and wrong planchets are the key to spotting valuable examples. Always examine your coins, get suspicious ones graded, and remember that rarity plus condition equals value. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about hidden treasures in US coinage, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Rare US Coins. Today's video is going to be absolutely fascinating because we are talking about a very special penny. Yes, just 1 cent, but not just any penny. This little coin has shocked collectors all over the world. We are talking about the 2002 D Lincoln cent, a coin that has been valued at an unbelievable $585,336. Can you imagine a single penny in your pocket being worth more than $500,000? That is exactly what makes this story so exciting. Now, let's dive deep into the details because this is not just about money, it is also about history, rarity, and the thrill of coin collecting. The coin we are talking about today is the 2002 D 1 cent, also known as the Lincoln Memorial Penny. The letter D stands for the Denver Mint where this particular coin was struck. Millions of coins are minted every single year, so what makes this one coin stand out from the crowd? That is what collectors want to know, and that is what we are going to explore together. When it comes to rare coins, value does not come just from age. A coin does not have to be 100 or 200 years old to be valuable. Instead, what really matters are things like condition, errors, and scarcity. The 2002 D penny became famous because of unique characteristics that set it apart. Some coins from this series were struck with minting errors, and sometimes those errors are so rare that collectors are willing to pay incredible prices just to own them. Let us take a closer look. Imagine holding a 2002 penny in your hand. At first glance, it looks ordinary. You see Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front, the familiar design that has been used for decades. On the reverse side, you see the Lincoln Memorial. But here is the secret. Some of these coins have tiny mistakes that most people would never notice. It could be a doubling of the letters, a misplaced mint mark, or even slight differences in the way the design is pressed into the coin. These little details might seem small, but to collectors, they make all the difference in the world. Now here comes the shocking part. One of these 2002 D pennies ended up being valued at an incredible $585,336. That is the market value, meaning collectors and investors recognize its worth because of its rarity and uniqueness. To put that into perspective, imagine buying a house, a luxury car, or even paying off all your debts, all because of a single coin that most people would ignore. It is truly mind-blowing. Coin collecting is often called the hobby of kings because treasures can hide in the most unexpected places. Think about it, you could walk into a store, get some change back, and unknowingly be holding a fortune in your hand. That is why channels like Rare US Coin exist, to help you learn what to look for, how to recognize rare pieces, and how to turn ordinary pocket change into extraordinary finds. The 2002 D penny teaches us a very important lesson. Never overlook small details. Some people throw pennies on the ground, thinking they are worthless. But a true collector knows that every coin tells a story. Every coin has potential. And sometimes, just sometimes, a penny can be worth more than gold. So the big question is, how do you know if your 2002 penny is valuable? First, check the condition. Coins in mint state, meaning they look brand new with no scratches or wear, are always more desirable. Second, look for mint errors. Use a magnifying glass if you need to. Check the date, the letters, and the mint mark carefully. Even the smallest mistake could make a huge difference. Third, always do your research and consult reliable price guides or coin experts before selling. Collectors often say that finding a rare coin is like winning the lottery. And with a value of $585,336, this 2002 penny is truly a jackpot discovery. Stories like this inspire people around the world to start checking their coins, digging into their collections, and even exploring old boxes or jars filled with loose change. You never know what hidden gems are waiting to be found. So the next time you see a penny, do not just walk past it. Pick it up, look closely, and remember this story. You could be holding the key to a fortune. And even if your coin is not worth hundreds of thousands, collecting coins is still one of the most rewarding hobbies because it connects us with history, art, and discovery. Here on Rare US Coin, we will continue to bring you the most exciting stories, the most valuable discoveries, and the secrets of coin collecting that most people do not know about. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on our next video. Who knows, the next coin we talk about could be sitting in your pocket right now. Thank you so much for watching. This was Rare US Coin.